In 2024, a machine located 15 billion miles from Earth began to lose its mind. It was sending us messages in a language no one recognized. Zeros. Nothing but zeros. For months. NASA engineers had exactly 45 hours to save it. No more. Because sending a signal to it takes 22.5 hours. And waiting for its response, another 22.5 hours. During that time, no one slept at JPL. That machine is Voyager 1, launched in 1977, built with processors less powerful than your microwave. And on its side, since the beginning, rests a golden record. That record contains something unique in the entire history of humanity. And in the next 12 minutes, you'll understand why it may be the strangest, most beautiful, and most useless thing we've ever done. 3 questions right now that we'll answer together. What's really on that record? And why did some choices nearly tear the project apart from the inside? Will this message ever reach anyone? And if the answer is no, why send it anyway? And above all, who is this record really for? Because the answer isn't what you think. It's 1977. The planets aligned, literally, to give NASA an opportunity that only happens once every 176 years. A unique trajectory allowing a visit to Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune in a single journey. NASA took it. 2 twin probes, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Official mission, 5 years. Real destiny, to become the most distant human-made objects in history. Powered not by ordinary fuel, but by the heat of plutonium hearts still beating today, nearly 50 years later. But one man refuses to let these machines leave empty-handed. Carl Sagan, astronomer at Cornell, haunted since childhood by one question: what if we are not alone in the universe? He convinces NASA of an idea no one asked for, and everyone considered unlikely. Attach a golden record to each probe, a message for any intelligence that might encounter these machines in the darkness. In 10,000 years, 100,000 years, 1,000,000 years. The verdict? 6 weeks. 6 weeks to decide what humanity deserves to say about itself for eternity. When I understood that, it made me dizzy. Not metaphorically, but physically. So what's really on that record? Music, 27 tracks. Bach, twice, because Sagan said choosing Bach was showing off. But if humanity deserved to show off one thing, it was Bach. Beethoven, ceremonial Aboriginal Australian percussion, Senegalese wedding songs, Japanese gagaku, songs from the Aka Pygmies, and Chuck Berry, Johnny B. Good, because Druyan fought to include it. Sagan was skeptical. She won. John Lennon had asked for Imagine to be included. They said no. Too political. Sounds too. Surf, rain, wind, volcanoes, frogs, humpback whales. Sagan thought an extraterrestrial intelligence might recognize whale intelligence before ours. A crackling fire, footsteps in the snow, a kiss, a baby crying, a mother greeting her newborn for the first time, and greetings from humanity in 55 languages, including Sumerian, a language dead for 4,000 years. And then, there is one thing on that record I still can't believe they did. Something with no scientific justification. Something Carl Sagan never really explained publicly. Druyan, 30 years old in 1977, creative director of the project. She found the Chinese music. She fought for Chuck Berry. She proposed recording a human electroencephalogram, a full hour of brain activity, to engrave onto the record. And at that exact moment, in the spring of 1977, something changed in her life. she had just fallen in love with Carl Sagan. They confessed their feelings over the phone one evening, and the next morning, Druyan walked into the studio to have her brain scanned for an hour. Years later, she said she couldn't help it. While the electrodes recorded every electrical impulse of her brain, she thought about the history of Earth, evolution, the human condition. But she also thought about Carl. That signal is on the record. 15 billion miles from Earth, drifting through interstellar space at 38,000 miles per hour. The electrical signal of a woman in love, frozen in gold, traveling nowhere, forever. Druyan lived until 2024. Until the end of her life, she said it was the thing she was most proud of. Not because it was useful, because it was true. And I find that unbearably beautiful. Now let's talk about the problem no one really wants to face. Voyager 1 travels at 38,000 miles per hour, which seems extraordinary, until you understand the true size of the universe. The closest star to us is 25 trillion miles away. At that speed, it would take 73,000 years to reach it. And that star isn't even in the direction Voyager 1 is going. Its real destination? There isn't one. The probe drifts. It's searching for nothing. It's going nowhere in particular. It will take another 300 years to enter the Oort cloud, that shell of billions of comets surrounding our star, and 30,000 years to leave it. 30,000 years, at a time when Homo sapiens didn't even exist. Some of those comets were already there. The chances that the golden record will ever be found by an intelligence? Statistically, 0. Not unlikely. 0. Carl Sagan knew it. NASA knew it. Everyone knew it. They launched the record anyway. Why? Because the golden record was never a message for extraterrestrials. It's a message for us. We selected the most beautiful things humanity has ever created. We engraved them into a metal designed to last 1 billion years. We sent them as far away from us as possible, not to be heard, to prove that we deserve to be. It's the act of a species that doubts itself, that doesn't know whether what it has created has value in an indifferent universe, and that answers that uncertainty not with resignation, but with a message in a bottle. Do you remember the 3 questions from the beginning? What's on the record? Now you know. The best of what we've done, with all the debates and compromises that involved. Will it reach anyone? Probably never. But that doesn't change what the gesture means. And who it is really for? Now you have the answer. Us. Every person who learns about it and feels something. Do you remember Druyan and her brainwaves in love? That signal is drifting right now in total darkness. In 40,000 years, Voyager 1 will pass by a star we haven't even named yet. In billions of years, when our sun has swallowed the Earth, when our oceans have boiled, when every trace of human civilization has disappeared, that signal will still be there, cold, silent, intact. The golden record will outlive us, not because it is indestructible, but because we had the courage to send the best of ourselves into the unknown. And that gesture says one thing, and one thing only. We were here. We felt things. We tried. Even if no one ever hears us, we still tried. Back to 2024, JPL engineers sent their software fix. 45 hours of waiting, and Voyager responded. But with a signal no manual had predicted. Did the extreme cold of interstellar space create new connections in its circuits? Or did a machine launched in 1977 just improvise for the very first time? 15 billion miles from home? We don't know yet. What we do know is that somewhere in the dark, a golden record drifts, carrying music, sounds, voices, a child's laughter, and the brainwaves of a woman in love. So here's the question I'll leave you with today. If you could add a single sound from your life to that record, just one for eternity, what would it be? Tell me in the comments. I read everything. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to Cosmic Odyssey so you don't miss the rest of the journey.